Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices, and starting with the SP 500 here on the daily chart. We're looking at from wave 3 to wave 4 here, and we're looking at it in simple terms at this stage as an A wave here, a B wave, and a C wave for wave 4 here. If I've made a mistake and wave 4 is actually somehow already tied up in all of this move down through here, then we're going to see much the same move as well. We're going to see a three-wave move to this point here, and then we'll see a move up from there if I've made a mistake here. So we will be mindful around this little area here. Our main task though at the moment is this leg up through here. Is it finished or not? We think that there's actually one more little move to go in through here before this rolls over this way here, and we're either going to be moving back down to here. Normally what I find is that wherever we find the top here and down to the 61.8%, if we get three waves in that space, then it's pretty much done that we will move up from that space. But if we get five waves into this space, then we know that we'll be moving down lower from that point. Yeah, it's just a handy little sort of trick to well, just one of the little things in gathering sort of evidence. So let's go in and have a little look here. I mean, one of the other points I want to make too is that, you know, there's stocks on the NASDAQ that have already pushed higher than their move here. So what I'm seeing in the NASDAQ stocks, or into stocks across New York and the NASDAQ, is that this move down through here in some cases is very clear, three waves down like Amazon. But then we have other markets that have a very clear structure with five waves down. So we're getting two pictures within all of this. It has been mentioned that this five waves is part of an expanded flat, and it does suit some stocks, but not all stocks, such as this index here. It wouldn't suit it as an expanded flat. And an expanded flat, by the way, is that we have a top here, and then we have a three-wave structure here, and then we have a three-wave structure here that just takes out the top here, and then because it takes out the top there, or the distance it takes out the top, normally 23% as they say, but textbooks you'll be a bit mindful of, and then we would just trap in all the short traders here before moving up. So it's a bit of a high swing, low swing below the previous tops, and then up through here, but we definitely don't have that in this particular case here. Let's just go to the hourly chart and look at what we've got here. So just in this leg here from the 23rd moving up through here, it does count as an unfinished impulse wave in terms of wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 waves up to this point, and then wave 4 and then wave 5 here. It's possible that we could call, you know, this little wave 4 in here and this little wave 5 over here, but it's not the case, and in some cases this would be the top, but in this instance here, this is much better suited to over here at this point. So as a wave 4 here, the 38.2% retracement level is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or where it is here now, and we also always gravitate over to the closest largest number, and that's the 2750 here. So we could say that this count would be wrong, or looking wrong, if the 2750 became a retested resistance in here, and that normally takes time for that to occur. So a market would normally move down, move through it, then come back and check it, and then if it takes that low out here, then it's weak at that point. But while it's vibrating on this number in that space, then you just need to have a bit of patience and don't try and guess the market unless you've got a clear pathway and you know what you're doing. So at this stage here, I think that what we need to do is we just need to see how this completes here, either in this case or this case here. So on the tick chart here, I was looking for the top down, coming down from the top here, and our target was the 28, but we're a little bit shy of that, and that's sort of okay in a way. But this current move that's down through here, we would need to look at this in terms of and well, we could look at it currently as an A wave, a B wave, and then we'd have a C wave down here. And the C wave down here, can I borrow some numbers? Let's borrow these. That would be 1, 2. I'll just get in a bit closer here. Oops, I've got that done. So we'd have a clear 5 waves down here, and then we'd have our wave 2 here, and then we'd need to look at this as wave 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, a fourth wave to here or to here. So I don't know if I should put this here and here, and then the fifth wave can be quite short as well. And this is a thing because when you're working with larger numbers, and I consider 2750, not the 27 but the 50, I consider that a large number, and 5 is the second strongest number. What it can do is it can skew the wave counts. But our 38.2% textbook retracement level is here, but we also take into this number here, and when we're taking into this number here, we also take in the levels around that. So the 48 would be important. That would be the next number below that. So once that and becomes the resistance, then yeah, it's looking very weak at that point. But on the short side here, we could have wave 1 and wave 2. Let's just get a length on wave 3 here to see at this point here. I mean, wave 3 here so far is actually shorter than wave 1 here. So that would either, the only way that this could pan, well, the two ways it can pan out is that wave 3 here is shorter than wave 1. That means that wave 5 here needs to be shorter than wave 3. And that way wave 3 doesn't need to be the shortest move here. The other way to count this, of course, is to have this, copy this wave 3 into here, and then copy a wave 4 here, and then copy a wave 5 down here further into this space here. So I don't quite know how this is going to finish here. What we could say here in terms of, because we think it's a wave 4 correction, then we need to look for long trades. So I think taking this trend line here out as becoming support would be a nice way to move that, to move that through. Otherwise it just depends on how far this comes down. So the other point too, when a market moves through a trend line, it will move up, it will touch it, move back, then move up, and then come back and sit on it, just like a horizontal trend line, and then move off from that point there. So it gives you, it gives you an opportunity to move in different places basically once you can see this sort of pattern happening. But okay, I know the market's going down, but we're looking for long trades, a long trade setup. So let's just see how that pans out. Let's just have a look at the other markets as well. So this is the 1 hour on the Nasdaq over here. We can just drag that across over here now. So we were looking at this as an A and a B and a C, and the same thing here as well. When we were speaking a few days ago, we were looking. So we can look at this. This will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So this will be the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree here. The 38.2% retracement level looks a little bit higher, so take that up to here. So it's already at that there, but that basically becomes our sort of zone, if you will. So we look at the zone, and then we look at the numbers over here. So we're looking really at 6,900. So we, even though that you may want to go short, we really need, we're lining everything up here. We need to look at this level here, the 6.9. If it becomes a retested resistance, then you can start to look at the short side. But otherwise, we need to stay with the count, and like the S&P, we're looking for one more move up. Because the extension's in wave 3 here, then wave 1 and wave 5 will be roughly the same. But because this is quite strong here, very strong here compared to this wave here, then we can look at other things to get targets at the top. We can get the first extension to the upside here. We can also take 61.8% of the third wave here and put it to the bottom here as well. But at the end of the day, the best way to handle the situation is to count the actual 5 waves to the upside there as such. And the DJ will be much the same as well, but we'll have a quick look at that. So yes, it has dropped here significantly, and it does sort of make you think, do we have the count wrong? And that's also possible as well, but we do need it to play out here. Okay, so let's just allow it to play out here. I know that the European markets are weak at this point, but let's just stay with this particular count that we've got for this. This is also the DJ on the hourly chart as well here. All right, I'll just leave it at that, and let's just see what we get here. I mean, even if it is a downside, we're not going to miss much in the first instance. We will a little bit, because if we have this as 1 and 2 in here, and then we have this as wave 3 here, and then 4 and 5 here, then we're going to see a rally back up into the 50-60% mark anyway. So, you know, we'll get the right crack at this. You know, we need to see 5 waves. If we get 5 waves here, that means we get 5 waves over here. So that's what we need to see at this point. So going short in here can be a trap, so just be mindful of that, and perhaps trade less if you're in that market. Alrighty, cheers.